Hello! So I don't know why hindi ko pa to siya ginagawa. But today, we're having a cafe tour dito sa Mezzanine Cafe. So I intentionally came here before opening kasi I'm shy to video that there are people. Also, I'll be doing inventory today with the staff. So I'll be showing to you also behind the scenes of our business. And yeah, I'll also be putting in some business tips along the way. So I hope you'll join me in this video.
And also make sure to watch until the end because I'll be sharing to you 5 things I wish I knew or I wish we did when we opened our cafe 5 years ago. So this month we're actually celebrating our 5 years since we opened way back 2018. So ito yung cafe namin. We're located actually on the mezzanine talaga ng building. That's why it's called Mezzanine Cafe. When you enter, you could see really stairs and then meron siyang parang quote na there is no elevator to success, you have to take the stairs. So basically, we have two major parts sa cafe. Dito yung sa main cafe area wherein para talaga siyang normal lang na cafe setup. Merong music and you can talk and discuss while you are studying or working. While on this area naman, we call this our study area. Ito yung quiet zone. So, bawal dito mag-ingay, bawal yung mga discussions. So, there are different types of learners. Merong mga gusto nila tahimik talaga when they study. Meron naman would learn more if they discuss it with friends. So, that's why we have a separate place for sa mga taong gustong mag-study or mag-work na quiet lang. We also have these cubicles, individual cubicles. So, yung talagang gustong mag-deep work and ayaw ng ma-disturb, no? So, that's for them. And we also have this nap area or squat area. Meron kasing iba na gusto nilang mag-study na naka-squat. So, we have this one. Or if you wanna nap, you can also do here. Then we have book stands. Then we also have whiteboard sa gustong magsulat while they are studying. And also yung whiteboard, ginagamit siya pag meron kaming mga exclusive bookings, no? Kunwari, they want to discuss among themselves. So, yun. And also, we have this shelf for mga board games. And then books. Some of my books are here. But most of the books here are donated by a friend. Yung mga libro ko, hindi ko pa siya ready i-display siya. Natatakot ako mawala. And we also have this small space. It used to be a conference room wherein pwedeng i-rent siya for 5 people, but now I use it as a coffee studio. This is where I record my videos. It's also where I do coffee consultations. Medyo magulo siya kasi we have a lot of coffee cart bookings lately. So here am I preparing for a coffee cart. Medyo kulang kami sa tao ngayon. So DIY muna tayo guys sa pag-prepare ng mga gamit for the coffee cart. As mentioned in my previous video here, one big tip talaga if you have coffee carts is to prepare a checklist para sure talagang walang maiwan. So, ito yung service namin. This is for a wedding. So, we're serving here coffee and milk tea for the visitors ng ating couple. So, sa cocktail siya. So, pagdating nila from the church, so they'll be served with these refreshments. And another busy day is demo event for Family's Choice artisanal products. So they got the cafe as a venue for their demo event, and also they got me as their speaker / barista. So I featured their products, I demoed how you can use them. Also, they gave to me their products around 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before the event. So I was really able to try their products. And when I tried their products and to check the features, grabe, ibang level yung flexibility ng products nila. Just imagine, with just one powder, you can turn that into a sauce, pwede siyang gamitin for coffee, milk tea, for fraps, and even you can turn that into an ice cream. Or even you can turn that as an ingredient for your cakes and for your different pastries. So just imagine how much you can save with that, with your inventory, both on the cost and on the quantity and on the storage of your inventory. Perhaps I'll be making another video showcasing these different products of Family's Choice artisanal products. So dito, they're giving me na desserts. This event is actually special to me kasi first time kong matap with a specific coffee beverage brand. So yeah, I'm really happy to do this. So dalawang session kami. Sila ito yung sa morning and then there also another session in the afternoon. The same flow lang naman, but yung sa afternoon, a bit more yung mga tao. Ayan, so ito naman yung for the afternoon. So mas madami sila compared nung sa morning. And of course, no, a busy week sa cafe or in my routine na hindi kompleto pag wala tayong hands-on coffee business training. So I have here my students for coffee business training. So this is one whole day. I've been talking about this one. So if you're in Cebu, you might just want to join. So una, they do here now the manual coffee brewing, specifically yung pour over method. So I actually started before this one yung theories muna, no? And then I do demo and then they do hands-on. So basically during the training, they'll be doing around 3 hands-on ng different brewing methods. So manual and also the espresso machine. So for the espresso machine, I teach them the basic handling. So from getting a pool of espresso up to steaming milk and really achieving that silky milk ready for latte art and also ready for latte or cappuccino drinks para sa cafes nila. So napansin ko most of my students are afraid dito sa part na to, which is steaming the milk. But it actually takes practice. Don't just get intimidated. You'll get used to it and magiging magaling ka rin basta mag-practice lang. So our hands-on small coffee business training sa cafe is really beginner friendly. No need for initial skills no in brewing. Kahit di ka marunong mag-brew, you'll still learn from here. So you don't have to worry na parang wala ka pang experience. Kaya nga 'di ba nag-training tayo. So it's really beginner friendly. Okay, so 5 things I wish I knew and we wish we did 5 years ago when we were still starting out sa cafes. Unang-una, I wished that we created a budget based on a certain canvas ng mga gagamitin namin. Kasi ang nangyari sa amin was baliktad. So, we were budgeting first, no, without knowing the actual prices or the usual prices of all these materials, equipments, inventory, etc. na kailangan namin for the cafe. So, what turned out is, for example, yung coffee machine namin, our budget based on the actual na binili namin because we were so naive that time. Wala kaming alam no, with regards to coffee machine. We thought na we can have an espresso machine for our cafe at 37K. Turn out, yung nabili namin was 180,000. So, nangyari is yung budget namin na capital was almost times 5 in actual. It could have been avoided, no? If we based our budget on a canvas. Sana before kami nag-finalize, no, with our plans in starting a cafe, is we really looked into the actual prices and the actual equipments that we would be needing for the cafe. I believe in that way, mas malinaw sana kung magkano yung pera na ilalabas namin, di ba? Less disappointments, no? Less stress on the budget side. So, yun ang number 1. Second thing I wish I knew or I wish we did 5 years ago when we were still starting out our cafe. Sana alam ko na ang dami pala talagang coffee suppliers na pwede namin itap. So again, kasi wala kami idea years back, no, 5 years ago, when we had this supplier who had everything. So para silang one-stop shop. So kung sa weddings, they already have the bridal gown, the flowers, invitations, di ba? Yung mga one-stop shops. The same for cafes. Maraming ganun. So, meron silang espresso machine, mga powders, sauces, equipments, beans, even. So, nangyari, we were so excited, no, when we saw that one supplier and we got everything from them. Well, there's nothing wrong, no, in getting everything in one supplier, but I wish we did had access to other suppliers kasi with that, you can compare, no? And also, sa mga suppliers na ganito, um, it's also part of their marketing na they, when you visit their stores, they even give you even the costing and pricing, and they even help you train, your baristas in making the coffee. But then again, their end goal really is sa kanila mo bilhin lahat. So meaning yung recipes nila is actually from their own products. So when you focus your menu, your recipe sa cafe mo with just those na binigay nila, tendency talaga is wala kang choice, di ba? Your buyer power in choosing the different suppliers for your cafe would be zero. Kasi lahat ng recipe mo is from them, right? So I wish I knew. So over the years na meron na kaming access with different suppliers, I wish I knew them earlier. Perhaps siguro yung costing ng products namin would be a lot lesser. So in effect, we would have higher net income over the years, diba? Which brings me back to number three na I wish I knew and we did years back. Eh sana before sa excitement namin na magtayo ng cafe is we involve ourselves in any coffee brewing workshop or coffee making or a basic barista training. Sa amin kasi is wala, hindi namin ginawa yun kasi when we saw the supplier and then they said na they can train the staff or the barista, so it would save us time. We thought it could save us time. But if and only if nag-barista training kami or I even just learned basic coffee brewing, I would realize I can actually create my own coffee recipe, 'di ba? And we weren't very dependent sana on that one supplier who gave us everything. So my really big tip to those who are still starting out, if you want to have a cafe, at least expose yourself to a basic coffee brewing and basic barista training. If you're in Cebu, we have a hands-on small coffee business training. You might be interested. I just don't teach you how to make your own coffee recipe, and how to brew, but I also teach you the basics of the business side of a cafe. So it turned out na I have learned all the brewing techniques and everything while we were having na the cafe. So hindi siya naging before. No? So it was 5 years of more than I think mga 2 to 3 years of learning everything from scratch and through experience. Number four, I wish I knew or I wish we did 5 years ago before we opened our cafe. Sana alam ko or alam na namin yung mga different revenue models pala na pwede na may idagdag sa cafe namin for us to gain more income. Kasi the usual kasi sa mga cafes is your income would be based on walk-in lang. Or perhaps if you have online orders, so walk-in and online. And it actually took a pandemic for us to think out of the box, no, on how can we earn aside from the walk-in. Kasi di ba nung pandemic, walang walk-in, right? And I think if you know our story and if you've been following me here in my social media accounts, na nung pandemic, for us to survive is we really look into other different revenue models sa cafe namin. So, turn out, we, instead of selling walk-in ready-to-drink na kape, is we sold coffee drip bags, coffee in tea bags, cold brew, no? I wish we knew about that. We thought about that nung una-una pa. Kasi 'di ba it will add more income aside sa walk-in namin. Another thing is after nung 2021, slowly bumabalik na yung mga face-to-face. It was then we also knew and thought out of the box yung adding a coffee cart sa revenue model namin. Meaning, aside from having sales from our walk-in customers, we also would have sales from events, diba? I wish we knew about it, we had thought about it years back, but it took us a pandemic to realize. Then again, I'm still thankful for that, no? Na naisip namin yon. So I wish we really knew and we really did that even nung nagbukas na kami. So perhaps yung sales namin would have been different, and maybe nung nag-pandemic, we were actually more than ready, no, to adapt and perhaps still earn nung bawal na lumabas. Kasi it took us few months to really think on how we can still earn. So yun. My feelings about that is I am a bit parang sad. Sana nalaman ko ahead. But a bit happy that we are already doing it now and it's really helping sa cafe. And number 5, things that I wish I knew and I wish I did years back when we started our cafe 5 years ago. Sana I had a mentor. Sana I had somebody to tap into to ask questions. Sana I had somebody who was somewhat like few years ahead of me. No, perhaps all those numbers 1 to 4 is na-avoid ko. Well, wala namang regrets kasi everything or all those mistakes and all those experiences were lessons learned. However, if I try to think about it, it could have been a lot easier and a lot shorter yung journey, no? Na shortcut sana. All of the avoidable mistakes are na-avoid sana if and only if I had a mentor or somebody I can ask help from. That's why, siguro ngayon, no, I am just so passionate about what I do. Sometimes nakakapagod yung ginagawa ko na nagtuturo ako in starting a small cafe. Even some of my friends and relatives are asking why am I breeding my own competition. But iniisip ko lang talaga sa mga times na napapagod akong gumawa ng video, napapagod akong magturo or show up in classes and in Zoom classes. I just think about myself years back na I wish I had somebody. And ngayon, perhaps it's already passing it on, no? And helping people and be somebody who I needed years back. So ngayon, every time my students would tell me na, Faye, thank you, or Faye, we're open, na salamat sa lahat, blah, blah, blah. Makes me happy. Makes my heart really, really happy. Kasi somewhat natutulungan ko yung in that previous universe, natutulungan ko yung Faye na who needed help 5 years ago. Yeah, so before ako magdrama, if you want to be part of my group wherein I mentor for small coffee business, I have here an online mentorship program that you can join. The link is here below. Just check it out. No, tingnan nyo if it is something that you are looking for all these years. And I have a video here explaining what is inside and the features of the Small Coffee Business Academy. Thank you so much for watching this video, 5 years video of our cafe and the business behind the scenes. And I'll see you in this video.